Excuse me?
What do you want, kid?
Well, you see, I just finished Baldur's Gate 3. And, well, I don't know what to play.
Okay, and that is my problem how exactly? Listen, kid, figure it out. I got stuff to do.
But...
Well, you have friends, right? Just ask your friends and they'll recommend you some stuff.
But my friends told me to play Lords of the Fallen.
Oh dear God, no. Alright, listen here, kid. I don't have much time, but because I like you, I'm going to give you 5 recommendations of awesome RPG games that you're going to enjoy now that you finish Baldur's Gate 3. Buckle up. If you enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3, I feel that you'll enjoy these games regardless of whether they are a cRPG or an ARPG. This list is in no particular order and they are all fantastic games. However, I will be saving my favorite pick for last, so make sure you stay tuned till the end. Enough stalling, let's get straight on with the list. Number 1. Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, where better to start than the game that Larian Studios themselves made right before Baldur's Gate 3. Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best modern cRPGs you will play in your life. The game is set in the fantasy world of Rivellon, a world that is currently under attack by mysterious beings known as the Godwoken. Similar to Baldur's Gate 3, this is a turn-based game. However, it does not feature D&D spells and rules, and it has its own unique system, which I think is very fun. Players can control origin characters similar to Baldur's Gate 3, each with their own unique backstory and unique quests. As with most Larian Studio games, Divinity Original Sin 2 gives you a lot of autonomy in the way that you want to create your character. There are a variety of classes to pick from, as well as passive bonuses that will help you tailor how you want to play your character. As it is a turn-based game, there is a lot of strategy involved, and similar to Baldur's Gate 3, although I feel to a higher extent, spell combinations is a major focus of this game, and it's one of its most unique features. For example, casting a water spell to make a creature wet and then subsequently using a lightning spell will cause more damage. If you're a big fan of turn-based RPGs, with a focus on a bit of strategy, then this game is for you. Number 2. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, The Witcher is a series that most people probably are aware of. They are based on the fantastic books of the same names written by a Polish author, and although there were 2 games before The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, I don't think you need to play them. The story revolves around Geralt of Rivia, who is trying to find his lover, Yennefer of Vengerberg. He's also in search of his adoptive daughter, Ciri, and that's what the story is revolving around. Geralt is a witcher, people that undergo rigorous training in monster hunting. They also alter their bodies to give them heightened senses and a control of basic magic. The Witcher 3 is set in an open-world fantasy setting, with clear European influences. You will be free to explore the world at your own pace on your trusty horse Roach, and accept various quests and tasks, for a price of course. The game's combat is extremely fluid, and you're able to meld both swordplay as well as magic in a seamless manner. However, that's not the only thing that's good about The Witcher. The music score is fantastic, the world building and storytelling is also fantastic, and the graphics are absolutely mind-boggling, especially given that this was a game that came out in 2015. It puts a lot of modern ARPGs to shame. Although you can customize Geralt in a variety of ways, you are somewhat limited into playing a spell-slinging swordmaster sort of playstyle. However, there is a lot of versatility in how Geralt can be spec'd. If you enjoy a very responsive action RPG game with a heavy focus on storytelling and world building, this game is for you. Number 3. Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. This is one of my all-time favorite games. I've put in almost 300 hours into Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous is set in the world of Golarion, a world that is currently under attack by demons from the abyss. It is up to you, the chosen protagonist, and your group of party members to save Golarion from this threat. Now, there was a tweet by a member of the gaming community known as SynthPotato on Twitter. He made a tweet saying that he wanted Larian Studios to make Baldur's Gate 3 a real-time RPG. similar to the veins of the original Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. Larian Studios will most definitely not do that because they are turn-based specialists. However, there are games that meet this criteria, and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is one of them. This is a game based on the Pathfinder system. It is similar to D&D in some ways, and some spells are even shared between both rule sets. However, Pathfinder is based on an older system and uses slightly different mechanics. However, the switch between D&D and Pathfinder is a very seamless one. Wrath of the Righteous follows a system known as real-time with pause. A lot of modern players might not know what real-time with pause is. What this means is that it is a real-time game. Your physical attacks will have a timer between each attack, and spells will have a casting time. Everything takes place in real time, but you as a player can pause the game whenever you see fit. This will give you the chance to not only strategize on how you want to position your characters, but you can also queue up certain spells and actions. This type of game does take a bit of getting used to, and is somewhat more difficult than a turn-based RPG. However, the learning curve is not that hard. And once you get the hang of real-time with pause, it will really scratch that strategic itch that a lot of RPG players have. Similar to Baldur's Gate 3, you have a variety of classes to choose from, and the multi-classing options are second to none in the cRPG genre. You can also choose feats to optimize your character to a playstyle that you find enjoyable. On top of all this customization, your character also has access to mythic paths. These are specializations that give your character access to more spells and class features that will help you on your journey in Golarion. For example, you can become an angel with angelic wings, or you could become a demon and shapeshift into a variety of demonic forms. You can even become what they call an Azata, which is an elf-like whimsical being that has a variety of magical spells for you to choose from. If you enjoy character customization, an engaging story, stunning visuals, and a strategic approach to combat, then this game is for you. Number 4. Elden Ring. Now, what more can I say about Elden Ring that hasn't been said already? Of course, Elden Ring is an action RPG, which is quite dissimilar to that of Baldur's Gate 3. For starters, it is a dark fantasy game, not a high fantasy game. However, I feel that Baldur's Gate 3 players will absolutely enjoy Elden Ring. You play as a Tarnished, a person afflicted with undeath. You are tasked with restoring order to the lands between by finding the coveted Elden Ring. And that is what the story is based on. I will avoid telling you any more because it might spoil the game for you. Although the difficulty of Souls games in general is off-putting for a lot of players, you will find that the difficulty starts to taper off once you get a hang of the mechanics of how the game plays. If you can overcome this initial hurdle, you will find that Elden Ring provides you one of the most deep character customization options in modern ARPGs. Not only can you wield a variety of martial weapons, but you also have access to a variety of holy spells based on the faith attribute, or magic spells, and cosplay being the greatest mage in all of the lands between. As is the case with all Souls games, Elden Ring has a very responsive combat system, and once you get the hang of it, it can actually become quite easy. So don't let the difficulty put you off. On top of this, Elden Ring has some of the most in-depth lore in any ARPG in the modern era, and with multiple endings to choose from, replaying the game is almost a must. If you haven't played the game yet for whatever reason, let me be your intervention. Play the game, you will enjoy it. And now, for the final game in the list, my favorite, number 5, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Now, if you want to know just how much I love this game, I've put almost 500 hours into it. Pillars of Eternity 2 is a cRPG, a sequel to the critically acclaimed Pillars of Eternity game released in 2015. This game features real-time with pause, similar to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and many have claimed it to be the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate 2. Although the original Pillars of Eternity game was fantastic and I highly recommend that you do play it, I think Pillars of Eternity 2 took all the good aspects of the original game and made it 10 times better. And no, you don't have to play the original game to enjoy Pillars of Eternity 2. Pillars of Eternity 2 is set in the fantasy world of Eora. You play as the Watcher, a person who is able to see the souls of the dead and converse with them. One of the gods of the universe, Eothas, has gone rogue, and it is up to you to stop him. Pillars of Eternity 2 has one of the most in-depth character customization options of any cRPG. Unlike the original Pillars of Eternity 2 gives you the option to multi-class, and the class combinations work seamlessly well together. Gameplay is based on Obsidian's own unique system, and it doesn't take long to transition into understanding it. Although the visuals aren't as exceptional as Baldur's Gate 3, it is still quite charming for a game that came out in 2018. The combat is exceptional and fluid. In order to beat the game at higher levels, you need to make extensive use of the pause button in order to strategize your moves and your spells accordingly. On top of all this, you will also be the captain of your own ship. The game takes place on a variety of different islands, and you will need to manage your own crew and travel between these islands on your very own ship. Despite being one of the best cRPGs in this modern age, Pillars of Eternity 2 went under the radar of most gamers, mostly due to poor marketing by the team at the time. However, this game is a gem in the cRPG genre, and if you enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3, you will almost definitely enjoy Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. The game is almost always on sale somewhere, so why not give it a try? I promise you, you won't regret it. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed some of my recommendations. Of course, as with most lists like these are my personal recommendations, and I might not have covered some fantastic games that you might be aware of. In order to help others who find this video, why not drop a comment with your favorite RPGs to play after Baldur's Gate 3? Of course, if you liked the video, do drop a like and consider subscribing. As always, I love you guys very, very much, and I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time.